My husband is accusing me of being financially unfaithful and spending too much money. Husband, 33, and wife, 33, have been married for 10 years and together since college. From the beginning, we focused on financial security and managed to achieve it, though we had some good luck on our side. We each have solid jobs, earning nearly $200K a year. They paid off their student loans in just a few years. Both attended state schools and received some scholarships, so they didn't start with much debt. We live in a house I got from my grandmother, no mortgage, and we don't have any credit card debt. We fully fund our 401Ks and have 18 months of expenses saved in our emergency fund, which we are still growing. We own our cars outright, and they should last for at least another 5 years. Plus, we have no credit card debt. We handle our finances by using joint accounts for bills and savings while keeping separate accounts for personal spending. Each of us has a decent monthly budget for our own enjoyment. The fun money is only for our personal expenses, hobbies, clothes, and outings with friends. We decided that our joint account will cover things like date nights, vacations, and big purchases like appliances and repairs. Additionally, any bonuses or side hustle income will go into our personal fun money accounts unless we need it for something major like a home repair. My husband spends more of our fun money than I do. He has expensive hobbies like golf and collecting sports memorabilia. He also likes designer clothes. That's okay, it's his fun money. My hobbies are pretty low cost. I enjoy running, working out, reading, and baking. I'm more of an introvert, and a great time for me is having tea with a friend at home, along with some homemade pastries. I've been getting back into gaming recently, after not playing for a long time. I decided to upgrade my gaming setup after noticing I had plenty of extra money. I bought a new PC, desk, and gaming chair, spending around $5,000 in total. My husband is really angry about the purchase. He had no clue I saved that much money and thinks I should have talked to him before spending $5,000. I asked what it mattered if it was my own fun money and not our joint funds, and he insisted that me accumulating this amount without telling him was a form of financial infidelity. He mentioned that he lost trust in me and is unsure about what else I could be hiding. He wants me to give back the items I bought and put most of the money into our joint account. He wants to create a new rule allowing fun money accounts to hold over $2,000 with any extra going back to the joint account. This would clearly benefit him since he tends to spend most of his share each month instead of saving for larger things. I feel like I'm being penalized for saving more than I spend on a daily basis. I wouldn't think to ask how much my husband has in his fun money account or to control what he spends it on. I wasn't trying to hide anything. He didn't ask about it until after I made the purchases. Maybe I should have been clearer about my plans. So, Ada, my husband and I both have our own office and hobby rooms in the house, so the gaming setup wasn't going in a space he uses. I usually don't play games when my husband is around, unless he's occupied with something else. My main gaming time is when he's out playing golf. I run 40 to 50 miles a week, so I'm not really sedentary. I don't see why he would have a problem with me gaming or setting up a nice gaming space in my own part of the house. Update 1. My husband accused me of financial infidelity. My husband eventually settled down enough for us to talk. As others pointed out, it wasn't just about the money, it revealed bigger problems in our relationship. My husband has been feeling unhappy with me for some time now, and here are the reasons why. He thinks he's more dedicated to his career growth than I am to mine. It's true that even though we have similar incomes right now, the earning potential in his field, finance, is much greater than in mine, tech software development. He's in an executive training program, and I'm not. He feels resentful about working long hours in a high-pressure environment. I work from home doing something enjoyable and straightforward without pushing myself too hard. He's worried that these resentments will grow over time and that I won't contribute financially if he advances in his career while I don't. He said that since I started gaming again a few months back, I've been cooking less. I usually handle most of the cooking since I work from home and have a more flexible schedule. I have been making simpler meals lately, like grilled chicken salads or chili with cornbread, instead of complicated dishes with lots of sides. He noticed that I haven't been doing the fancy table settings like I used to, with flowers and nice placemats. I didn't think he noticed or cared, but it turns out he does. His main love language is acts of service, so he feels a bit neglected right now. He thinks I'm not trying hard enough with how I look. Not regarding weight or body, I'm a long-distance runner and slim, but about things like clothes, hair, etc. I haven't really focused on these things before. I work from home, so the expectations for appearances are pretty low, and I do much better than that. I usually buy basic, practical clothes from stores like Target and Walmart. I don't wear much makeup and just keep my hair in a ponytail. I usually dress up for date nights and special events, but on regular days, he sees me in a t-shirt and yoga pants without any makeup. He wants me to put in more effort. Basically, he's beginning to notice other women. He claims he hasn't cheated, he just finds himself looking at others because he's often let down by me, specifically. Since he works in finance, he encounters many career-driven Type A women who maintain great physiques, appear effortlessly polished and glamorous, and engage in more intriguing hobbies. He says he feels bad about everything because he knows I'm a good person. He realizes he's being judgmental and that it's not really me who has changed, but rather his own goals and expectations over the past couple of years. He thinks I'm not putting enough effort into myself and our relationship, which he sees as a betrayal of our future. He claims he loves me enough to be truthful. I think he isn't trying to be mean. I had to pull all of this out of him. He doesn't want us to grow apart, doesn't want anger and resentment. He realizes he's asking for a lot. I understand that some might suggest I should just end things and get a lawyer, but we've been married for 10 years and put a lot into this relationship. I want to explore if there's a chance to save the marriage. There are a few things to mention. We scheduled an appointment with a marriage counselor and will start next week. I'm going to attempt to do at least some of that. I'm not certain about pushing myself to be more ambitious at work since I'm content with my work-life balance and we're financially secure. However, I can focus on other things, like spending more time cooking and decorating, and taking a little time to freshen up when he comes home from work, especially now that I understand how much those things matter to him. I realize that I might end up bending over backward to make him happy, but it won't hurt me much to give it a shot for a month or two. It's definitely cheaper than a divorce, and I would regret not trying. So, this might not be the update you wanted, but it's the current situation. If people still want to know more, I'll keep sharing. I can provide more updates after we begin marriage counseling, and I see how things are changing. Edit, I need to head to bed now. Thanks to everyone for your replies. They help me realize that I deserve better than how I'm being treated. The expectations my husband has for me are unfair and unrealistic, especially since he isn't doing anything to make it easier for me to meet them or to show appreciation for my efforts and contributions. I tend to be very people-pleasing, and that's affecting my sense of what's reasonable in this situation. I have a lot on my mind, like what do I actually want in this situation? What will bring me happiness if I have to keep diminishing myself and changing who I am to satisfy my husband? Do I truly want to be in a marriage like that? I feel like I'm not valuing myself if I keep agreeing to his demands. I'm going to attend the marriage counseling appointment, but I plan to hold off on making any other changes until we get some professional advice. Provide additional details about their relationship, her actions, and his feelings. To answer your questions, yes, we each make about $200,000, totaling $400,000 together. His concern is that he might get promoted to a much higher salary executive position. He is being trained for a position that pays over $500. If everything goes well with the mentoring program, he should be promoted in the next couple of years, and I will fall behind in earnings. We don't need the money since we have no debt, aren't planning on kids, and have nearly $1 million saved for retirement with over 30 years to go. Still, he's worried that I'll be riding his coattails, using him for personal gain, hosting while he keeps putting in more effort and working longer hours. I guess all of that. I handle all the meal prep, cooking, setting the table, and cleaning up afterward. I genuinely enjoy it, and it's also a form of self-care for me, not just about taking care of him. I get to eat the food as well. I work from home and usually earn enough to have lunch for the next day as well. I understand this might not seem fair to some, and others may believe he should do more, but it doesn't bother me. What matters is that he enjoys and appreciates it. For work, I typically finish around 5 or 6 p.m., but lately he doesn't come home until about 9 p.m. Instead of wearing makeup and fancy clothes for work, I could just change and do my hair and makeup quickly when he's on his way home. I don't believe the clothes have to be designer. I can get blouses, skirts, and dresses at Target just as easily as t-shirts and yoga pants. Should I check out thrift stores or look for sales at department stores? I agree that the women he compares me to likely don't wear fancy clothes and makeup at home. He's only encountering them in work environments that need formal attire. Thanks for saying I haven't done anything wrong here. There is a difference between a preference and a boundary. He did use the word boundary in our conversation when he expressed his unhappiness with me. I've come to understand that it's important for me to come home to a well-dressed wife who has made a nice meal. I know that I'm not using the word boundary correctly here. Update: my husband accused me of financial infidelity. As I reflected on it, his request started to feel off to me. I tried an experiment over the weekend to see what would happen if I met some of his demands. I didn't think they were reasonable, but I felt like the goalposts would keep moving, and I was losing the game. On Saturday morning, I went to the salon for a haircut, highlights, and a mani-pedi. After that, I headed to the farmer's market to get fresh flowers for the table and some gourmet ingredients. Saturday is our usual date night, but I proposed we stay in. I wanted to prepare a special dinner. Steakhouse style with lobster bisque, a bread basket filled with various rolls and savory muffins made from scratch, crab-stuffed mushrooms, filet mignon, au gratin potatoes, and white chocolate mousse topped with raspberries. I wore a lavender sheath dress, his favorite color, along with high heels, and had my hair and makeup done. For all that effort, I got a lukewarm thanks, it was tasty, and a kiss on the cheek. I handled all the serving and cleanup. On Sunday, we typically go out, but he proposed that I prepare brunch for us at home. I made French press coffee, mimosas with fresh squeezed orange juice, Belgian waffles with bananas Foster topping, scrambled eggs with parmesan and fresh herbs from the garden, roasted fingerling potatoes, and maple glazed bacon. I wore a blue sleeveless sundress and wedge sandals. I did my hair and makeup again. I received a thanks, it's good, but no help with serving or clean up. Later, I asked if this was what he meant when he critiqued me earlier. He replied that it was a start, but said I was acting entitled for wanting credit for basic adult responsibilities. He then revealed that he was being tough on me because he realized I had a lot to atone for due to my low value as a woman. I asked him what he meant by that, and he said it was because I wasn't a virgin when we met. What is happening? We began dating at 21, and neither of us said we were virgins or expected that from each other. I don't think many 21-year-old college students are virgins, except for those who are very religious. I told him straight away that I had two past partners. The first was my high school boyfriend. We broke up when we went to different colleges far apart. The second was a boyfriend from my first year of college. That's all. Both were serious relationships, nothing casual. He told me that my worth was so low that I would have to make it up to him forever. He said I didn't deserve monogamy or equal treatment, and that I was lucky anyone wanted to marry me. He also mentioned he was connecting with someone from work, and if I wanted to keep him, I needed to step up. I told him that if he didn't love, like, or respect me anymore, there was nothing left to hold on to. I asked him to leave, and he said he would happily go to his girlfriend's place. Many people here believed he was having an affair, and I just didn't want to accept it. I thought his complaints were genuine, not a way to push me away. I feel really foolish for believing he was just stressed at work or that he actually wanted to improve our marriage. I took the week off from work to clear my mind. I have a lawyer appointment tomorrow. Canceled the marriage counseling appointment, but received a I need a referral to a therapist for an intake session later this week. He and his girlfriend are coming this evening to pick up more of his clothes and things, so I need to prepare for that. I want to make it clear that I don't see myself as low value at all. I allowed my husband to make me feel inferior for a while, but now I realize it was a issue. Clearly, we have different goals and values now, and he has turned into someone I no longer recognize. I understand that the divorce will be tough, but I will manage. I appreciate everyone for helping me realize I was being manipulated before I invested more time in a marriage that was finished. Here's another update. Accusation of financial infidelity against my soon-to-be ex-husband. Hello, everyone. I didn't plan to share another update so soon, but I've received many messages asking if I'm okay and how things are going. This is for those who have been checking in on me. To summarize my story, I posted a few weeks back about how my husband accused me of financial infidelity after I used $5,000 from my personal fund money to buy a gaming computer, desk, and chair, even though my spending followed our agreed rules. He later confessed that he wasn't truly bothered by the gaming setup, but rather by what he saw as a lack of professional drive. I'm a senior software developer, and right now we earn the same salary. He also asked me to prepare fancier meals, put more thought into home decor, and dress up more for him. About a week later, he accused me of being low value because I wasn't a virgin when we met. He was 21 too, and had never criticized that in our 12 years together. Then he told me he was having an affair with a younger coworker who was a virgin. It was really upsetting. After that, he moved out and started living with her. People have been asking me this week about how it went with him, picking up his things, meeting with my lawyer, and so on. I wanted to share some updates for those who might be interested. He was supposed to pick up his things on Tuesday evening, a few days ago, but at the last minute, he said he couldn't because his girlfriend Amy wasn't feeling well. Some people mentioned it in the comments, but yes, she is apparently pregnant. I have proof of the affair in writing now since he told me this in a text. It's not just his word against mine. I didn't want him to keep messing with the schedule, so I told him I'd pack his things and set up movers. I believe it's for the best. I really didn't want them in the house. I had planned for someone to come over on Tuesday when he and Amy were supposed to visit, so we spent the evening packing his clothes and personal items. The movers arrived yesterday and took the boxes and furniture he needed. He only needed a few things from his home office and his dresser since Amy's apartment is small. I gave a complete list and pictures of everything, and he agreed, so he can't claim that I damaged or messed up his things. Yesterday, I went to the clinic for STD tests. I won't get the results for about a week, but thankfully, I haven't had any symptoms. I also met with my lawyer, who mentioned that I have a solid case for adultery and mental cruelty if I decide to pursue that option. At the very least, it gives us a way to encourage him to settle fast and discreetly. Make sure to secure all finances according to the lawyer's guidelines to prevent him from accessing our joint funds or taking anything that is mine, including changing account beneficiaries and similar actions. I also changed the locks on the house. I took the advice from some commenters and decided to get rid of the bed and other furniture I had with him. I'm donating it, and someone is coming this afternoon to pick it all up. I'm going to redecorate the bedroom to match my style, which will take some time. For now, I'm staying in one of the guest rooms. I'm going on a spa weekend starting tomorrow morning and returning Sunday night. I need a change of scenery before heading back to work next week, even after getting the gaming set up. I have enough money in my account to pay my lawyer's retainer, redo the bedroom, and plan my getaway, with some left over. It's good to be frugal when it matters. Those are the key updates for now. I'm feeling better than I thought I would. Each day, I'm coming to terms with the fact that my marriage wasn't healthy, especially in the last few years. He began to expect me to handle everything at home and manage our lives outside of work without any support or appreciation. Amy is definitely going to be busy. I want to express my gratitude to everyone here once more. I'm getting ready for my spa weekend, so sorry if I don't respond to your comment or DM right away. I really appreciate all the support and encouragement. I hope there won't be any more big updates for a while. I just want a smooth and easy divorce so I can move on with my life. Please keep your fingers crossed for me. Just got an update. I was accused of financial infidelity, but it turns out my husband was the one cheating. I'm not sure if anyone remembers, but I posted a few times earlier this summer. You can find the links in my profile. It started with a question about whether I was in the wrong for buying an expensive gaming PC, desk, and chair using my own fun money, which led to my husband accusing me of financial infidelity. He later mentioned that he was disappointed with my job as a senior software developer because I wasn't on the executive management track. He also didn't like my casual appearance and that I didn't dress up in dresses, makeup, and heels for dinners at home. On top of that, he expected me to cook elaborate multi-course meals every night. After a straightforward experiment revealed that altering the cooking and appearance wouldn't bring him happiness, he called me low value for not being a virgin when we met in college 12 years ago, something he had never mentioned as a problem before. He then confessed to cheating with a coworker who is now pregnant. After I updated, he had moved in with Amy, his coworker, and we were beginning the divorce process. I'm updating again because many have been checking in with well wishes and to see how I'm doing. Sorry for not updating sooner. After I returned from the spa weekend I mentioned, I focused on working with my attorney on the divorce settlement. I didn't think it was wise to share my situation online, even anonymously, with the legal issues still unresolved. We reached an agreement quickly, and everything is done. Now, we just wait for the court date, which might take a couple of months. My lawyer assures me the agreement is solid. It wasn't as good as many of you would have hoped for me, but I was really motivated to finish it quickly. I got all the things that truly mattered to me. The house I got from my grandmother is completely mine, including all the furniture and other items inside. My retirement accounts and my fun money account are mine. I had to give him 75% of the other cash assets, even though he wasn't on the title for the house. He contributed a lot to the big renovation we did and has helped with maintenance since then. The house has increased in value a lot since we moved in. It's okay since I have enough money. I'm usually careful with my spending and can save up again fast. We agreed that neither of us can claim any of the other's past, present, or future earnings. In case he loses his job before the court date, I won't have to pay any alimony. This is a solid deal for me and provides a lot of security. Our state allows for quick divorces on mutual consent grounds. This means if both parties agree on finances and assets, they can get divorced without a legal separation period. Amy is pregnant, and my soon-to-be ex, Joe, was eager to not prolong this situation. Here's the real scoop from this update. Last weekend, right after we signed all the papers, Amy got in touch with me. She wanted to meet and discuss. I probably should have said no, but I was curious about the 24-year-old prodigy who was Joe's affair partner and had been a virgin until recently. So, I decided to meet her for lunch. Amy is really pregnant, in her third trimester. She confirmed she is due in mid-October, which means the affair has been going on longer than Joe admitted. Whatever, it's water under the bridge since the divorce is almost final. After some polite but chilly pleasantries, she asked me, when am I going to be moving out of the house? Because surely Joe has been patient enough with giving me time to get my life together. Her apartment is small, and they need more space for the baby. What? I said she must be mistaken since the house is mine, inherited from my grandmother. I asked her, what else has Joe said about me and our marriage? Then, one lie after another, Joe's lies spilled out of her mouth, mixed with bits of the truth. These included some surprising details. Amy and Joe met at work about a year ago while interviewing for the executive training program they are currently in. Amy mentioned that they became friends before starting a romantic relationship. Joe told her he was legally married, but that we had been living separate lives since 2020. He said he didn't want to kick me out and make me homeless during the pandemic because I didn't earn much and we live in a call. Joe mentioned to Amy that we met in our early 20s during a GED prep program. I was a high school dropout dealing with addiction, and he helped me get clean. He tutored me for my GED and has been supporting me as I work on college classes. He informed Amy that I was preparing for a career in IT and was earning $45,000 as a help desk technician. He wanted to ensure I could afford a studio apartment. He told Amy that we had split up because I had relapsed and he couldn't be in a serious relationship with someone who was a drug addict. This is all false. I have a limited history with drugs. I smoked a joint a few times in college, probably 4 or 5 times, but I never tried anything stronger. Amy was 24 years old and still a virgin. She looked upset that Joe had shared that with me, especially the part about being a virgin, and said it wasn't a moral issue. She was focused on school and work, not dating. Most guys her age seemed into casual hookups, especially the younger finance types, which didn't appeal to her. But Joe made an effort to get to know her and wanted a meaningful relationship. I asked her if the pregnancy was going well. Was it planned? She said no, definitely not, but it was surprising since Joe had a vasectomy. They saw that as a reason to keep the baby. Joe did not have a vasectomy. We planned to be a child-free couple, and I suggested it a few times over the years. He was clear that he didn't want to change his body that way, so birth control was left up to me. Amy appears to be without fault in this situation. People with experience might recognize that a guy saying he's separated but still married and living with his wife isn't trustworthy. However, without any dating experience, it's understandable that she would have believed him about everything. I had no idea anything was wrong with Joe until a few months ago, even though we were married. Amy didn't want to believe me, and I understand why. She's been with Joe for almost a year and is over 7 months pregnant with his baby, who will arrive soon, whether they're ready or not. I couldn't directly counter everything she claimed, but I shared a couple of things first. A photo of me in my late teens with my grandmother outside my house, and my LinkedIn profile that displays my current job and education. I told her to handle the information as she saw fit, wished her safety, and said my goodbyes. It was strange, surprising, and felt unreal. Apologies for the length, but I thought those keeping up with my story would want to know about this update. I might not update again for a while, maybe in a year when I've worked through everything with therapy and am hopefully living my best life. Joe and Amy need to figure out their own path. I really hope she realizes what's going on and decides to leave him, but I'm not too sure that will happen. I'm sure he will twist this to benefit himself because that's his style, but I can't take on that burden anymore.